the Prime Minister and various members of the Labour Party, various ministers, members of the Cabinet, have told us all to ignore our eyes and our ears, that he did not know, that he was not aware of the relationship that existed between Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey Epstein. And today he admitted at that dispatch box that he did. A disgusting.
Just for the benefit of the House.
The debate will now go through to 7 o'clock, so that will allow more people to speak with a longer length time. Sorry for the interruption, Stephen.
4 hours is plenty of time, Mr. Speaker. A disgusting and dark day for this chamber and for each and every person living on these isles, because their Prime Minister admitted he knew. And of course he knew. Of course he knew. In The Guardian, in 2023, Rowena Masson wrote about the court documents that had been released in the United States of America, which referenced the fact that Jeffrey Epstein had maintained a relationship with 2 individuals prominent in British public life. You'll know them. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and Peter Mandelson. The Prime Minister knew. Just as he knew when Jim Picard of the Financial Times asked him in January 2024 about the relationship. The Prime Minister knew then. He's seen the photos that each and every one of us in this chamber seen of Peter Mandelson in the luxury accommodation in New York alongside Jeffrey Epstein. He knew, I'm not going to give way, I'm afraid, he knew that they had a relationship, and yet he ignored it. He ignored each and every victim of Jeffrey Epstein when he chose to appoint him as the ambassador to the United States of America. And this debate, I will not give way. And this debate today is important. It's important because we get to the bottom of what Peter Mandelson did, and I will come to that. But we cannot, in this chamber, forgive nor forget the judgment of the Prime Minister when he chose to make that political choice. A choice that members opposite have told us repeatedly was a political risk. It was not a political risk. It was a betrayal of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, because Peter Mandelson, when he continued that relationship, knew that that man was a convicted sex offender. I said I will not give way. The member can sit down and listen to my speech today, as his colleagues should have done on many occasions in months gone past. The reality is, Mr. Speaker, the reality is that this Prime Minister has not only let himself down, he has let his office down, and he has let the public down, a public who he promised change to. He said that he would tread lightly on their lives. Do any of them believe that today? Do any of them have confidence in his judgment? Are the Labour Party seriously saying to the public that they still have confidence in his judgment? That we can trust him to make the big decisions when he can't even accept that a relationship between Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey Epstein should have stopped him becoming the ambassador to the United States of America?
He's going to answer.
I thank you for giving way. I really do think he's misreading the mood of the House. We're trying to find consensus on what's being debated. But he talks about articles in The Guardian and what was in the public domain. But he will know that John Swinney stayed in Peter Mandelson's house last year in Washington. He doesn't always stay with ambassadors, but he chose to. So if he knew this was in the public domain, why did he stay with Peter Mandelson? And why did he not answer the questions on this yesterday when he was asked 5 times?
And foolish intervention from the member opposite. I should have let him in, Mr. Speaker, earlier if I'd known that that was going to come, because he knows fine well that the First Minister of Scotland does not appoint the ambassador to the United States of America. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom does. And I thought for once that we did have consensus in this House that the Prime Minister lacked judgment by appointing him in the first place, unless he disagrees that the Prime Minister should have appointed him.
This is thank you, Mr. This is what this debate is about. We're trying to find an agreement on how the information can be released into the public domain. It's not. We're not grandstanding for social media or the front page of the National. We're trying to take the country forward. Thank you.
Yet another one, Mr. Speaker. He excels himself. And on Monday, Mr. Speaker, in this chamber, the Prime Minister was sat at the dispatch box, and I asked him a question. I asked him two questions. I asked him, firstly, to make an unreserved apology to each and every victim of Epstein for his decision to appoint Peter Mandelson. He chose not to do so. I then asked him if he agreed with me at that moment in time that Peter Mandelson should be subject to a police investigation, because I, of course, had just reported him to the police. He chose not to. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, what he said was only the SNP would go about this in this way. Here we are, 2 days later. Peter Mandelson is being investigated, but importantly, the Prime Minister has still not said sorry. An abdication of his responsibility. And he has had numerous occasions to do so. Another betrayal of those victims. And, Mr. Speaker, we must move this motion here today and support this motion to ensure that the treachery of Peter Mandelson is not ignored, to ensure that we properly understand why the Prime Minister took the decision that he took. But let none of us be in any doubt that any of this, any of the discussions about manuscript amendments or motions, or how we decide on anything, will matter as much to the public as the Prime Minister's